4 years ago, I'd never done an exercise class in my life. I used to do a fair bit of sport when I was younger, and I found myself getting much more sort of stiff, rigid, finding stairs more difficult, feeling a bit more challenged when I was walking the dogs. And I suddenly thought I really need to do something to get fit. And I started to do a class down here called Body Balance, which I really started to enjoy. And when I started, I could only do about 40% of the class, the content of the class. But gradually, over about 6 weeks, I started to feel it wasn't quite such an effort all the time. I started to find some parts of it easier. And the instructor, Sarah, who was so inspiring to me and so enthusiastic and helpful, started me on some other classes as well, and it's gradually built up from there. My experience was that I came to the sports centre and I spoke to the instructor before I booked onto anything, told her about my particular problems and asked her whether or not she thought I'd be able to cope, and she made me feel very welcome. I think the best part of all was she said, don't worry about it, do what you can. Even if you only do a tiny proportion of the class and the exercise, do that and gradually build it up. She said, if you're in any difficulty, just call me, I'll help you. And that's exactly what I did. And it made me feel very comfortable about coming to the class because I had actually spoken to her first and she knew my problem. It's really important to try something. I mean, you can try a class and if you hate it, you don't have to do it again. But a little bit, just try a bit, and don't be worried if you can't do it all first time. Most of the instructors here would tell you need at least six times in the class before you start to feel a little bit more comfortable with the moves and the strength it requires. And gradually, over a period of a year or two, you'll suddenly start to see real changes in your life and what you can do and your strength and your confidence. Well, I've got Parkinson's. I was diagnosed 8 years ago, and the trouble with Parkinson's is it makes you very much more stiff than you would be even at mid-50s. And I wanted to have confidence to go out and do things still and walk and go on our lovely hiking holidays we have. I was also finding it more difficult to get dressed and just generally feeling not very happy with my body. The exercises made me feel that I can achieve something still. It's given me quite a challenge, and I'm naturally fairly competitive, so I want to try and complete the whole class, and that's what I try and do. One of the things is my posture's better. That was the first thing that people in the class noticed. My shoulders are back much more, and they're much less painful than they were. I can bend down and put my shoes on easily, pick things up off the floor easily. I've got the strength to walk the dogs much further. I love walking along the coast path, and the Sidmouth Hills are interesting, and I can do those much more easily than I could before. I feel as though I'm actually doing something positive to manage my Parkinson's. The difficulty with Parkinson's is it's a progressive disease, and so everything's getting worse gradually. I feel I may have done something that will help slow that progression down and will give me more years of wonderful holidays, you see. So I use it as an excuse every year to go on holiday, saying it might be the last year I can go on holiday like this.